This particular matter involves the medical radiologist at Dr. Jones and Partners and Perrott Medical Imaging. One of the specific radiologists involved in not this particular incident, but another incident is Mr. Tony Morford, who's advertised on the Jones and Partners website. But you can see Perrott and Jones merged. Whether they still are merged, I don't know, but they were in 2011 when medical practitioner Cecilia Tildesley destroyed some of my medical records, which I'll talk about in a minute. This particular incident started out with a radiology examination I had done in September 2016. Now, since I was struck with a force of energy on the 17th of November 2005, which turned the minor vibrations from the implants from simmer onto hard boil. That's the best comparison I can think of. So I've had these really strong vibrations since the 17th of November 2005. So December 2005, I started getting CT scans and the like. I had a couple of MRIs, and altogether I've had 30 since, well, I've stopped having them recently because I was worried about bone cancer. But the medical practitioners kept saying to me, well, you'll have to have another scan. You have to have another scan, as if they're trying to make me have bone cancer to kill me off. This particular one, I had the CT scan on my face because I've got a lump in my mouth. You'll see it says no deformed abnormalities seen in the mouth, but there is a tiny bony spur, they tried to say, which they claimed was a remnant of a tooth, which is, there it is, a small dental relic, which is bullshit because I had, this is like, what year? 2006. I've had all my teeth out since 1976, and I had the bottom teeth out at the front where the lump is when I was 12. That was in 1968. So it's not likely to be a dental relic from 1968 in my mouth in 2006, because this is the bullshit that they come up with. They'll just do anything. Now, in here they said there was a defect on the left side, that's in my nose, linked to my sinuses, the sinuses on your cheeks. Sorry about that, going in and out of focus. I can't, it's autofocus. I can't do much about that. It's quite annoying. Good. I'll try and keep it still. Might work. It says consistent with previous surgery. I've never had surgery. I've never even had my tonsils out. I've had no surgery at all. And so I wrote them a letter and said, I've never had surgery. Could you define what surgery that might be? So they sent me a letter back. And this letter, still in September, said, oh, we're sorry, but the radiologist is now on extended leave and he can't talk to you. Basically telling me to go kiss my ass. So I sent them back a letter and said, well, gee, that's not good enough. I need to know what this prior surgery is. So they sent me back another letter and tried to claim now that I had a requirement for surgery. So they've manipulated it from saying consistent with previous surgery, as in evidence that I'd been surgically raped, to now claiming that I have a requirement for future surgery. So you can imagine how infuriating all this was. I went back to my medical practitioner, Dr. D.M. Deng, and she told me that the health department had contacted her in her Dover Gardens surgery and told her not to treat me anymore. So the plot thickens, doesn't it? I remember in 1997, I woke up during the proceeds of an illegal surgery. I woke up in massive pain and I could feel someone shoving something into my nose, and I passed out again. I actually heard a few comments from, they said, one of them said, well, she's awake. Another one said, well, you've started, you've got to finish. And they just kept shoving this shit in my nose, and I passed out with the agony. A couple of days later, I had a weeping, something, this clear substance weeping from the side of my nose, where you'll see this X. This is off the internet. It was weeping from the side of my nose near my, just, it's actually a bit closer than that, very close to my, the corner of my eye, but it was on the side of my nose. And the doctor leant over it without asking and just squirted with liquid nitrogen. So this is what they've sort of done to me, just done whatever they want, whenever they want, without asking permission. So I've had that weeping just after the surgery. I woke up through the surgery, and there I have this evidence that medical practitioners are saying I've had previous surgery. So I go to the police, and they refuse to treat it as a crime. They told me I've got to work it out with the doctors. And of course, all the doctors stick together. I tried to take it to court. I was laughed out of court because I didn't have a doctor to stand behind me. So after DM Deng told me to piss off, you go to another doctor and try and get it resolved. And they treat me like I'm a mental patient because one group of doctors has already told me to fuck off and there's nothing wrong. There's, in their opinion, they say that means there's nothing wrong. Consistent with previous surgery means there's nothing wrong with you. So at one stage, back to Cecilia Tildesley, I took this specific radiology report and a couple of other radiology reports that showed that I had foreign items inside me, and gave them to Cecilia Tildesley when she was at the Christie's Beach Medical Centre, and she destroyed them. I know she destroyed them because when Christie's Beach Medical Centre moved into the Commonwealth and state-funded GP Plus Super Clinic in Noarlunga, I asked them for a copy of my medical record because they refused to treat me on the basis that Cecilia Tildesley had already dealt with the vibrations inside me by sending me to a psychiatrist. So I got my medical documents from Freedom of Information and found that Tildesley had destroyed the documents. And I went back to the practice manager and complained about that, and they told me, don't come back again. In the interim, I had diagnosis that I had nerve damage through these illegal implants. So it just compounds. It keeps going on and on and on. I tried to get a resolve to one thing, something else comes up, and even when I get evidence that I've been surgically raped, like that, from a radiologist, they turn around and deny it and then make all this bullshit about it. So this is how people treat you. This is what's going to happen at the new medical research facility in the Royal Adelaide Hospital. We're just going to be treated like guinea pigs. They're going to continue to surgically manipulate people without permission, behind their back, illegally, unethically, and we have no recall because the police aren't interested in prosecuting medical crimes.